I don't know what we should do, but we are in a very bad place. I just fear of how our future is going to be because there is no any light at the end of the tunnel. Tuko watatu.
Na watoto ni wangapi? Watoto ni wangapi?
Watatu.
So kila mama kuna mtoto.
It is considerably difficult for one to find a bed with less than 3 mothers on it in this ward. The conditions in this ward have become unbearable. Mothers such as this one sleep on the floor without any bedding, struggling to care for their infants.
Na hapo chini mnalala kuna mattress?
Hakuna, unatandika tu ile shuka yenye uko nayo ama kitambaa yenye uko nayo unajitandika chini unalalia.
Na mtoto analala wapi?
Si mtoto sasa at least unasongesha kidogo analala kwa kitanda na wengine.
With so many people sharing a bed, mothers have no choice but to stay awake to give their children a place to sleep.
Mimi serikali gani kutunyanyasa namna hii? Si ni mateso hii. 17,000 mimi natoa wapi? Mimi mkulima mdogo. Hata nikikopa atakula kitu naweza uza nipate shilingi 17,000. Mimi naenda kwanza kwa polisi nione kama nitasaidika. Kwa sababu sasa hii ni kutunyanyasa.
Na sasa mimi sina mahali ya kutoa pesa. Mimi ni mzee miaka 76. Sina pesa. Sina mahali nikiomba. Sasa hii niko mgonjwa. Damu haendelei. Sasa damu haifanyi kazi sasa. Sababu sina figo.
Sikukuwa na hiyo pesa, ngakaa patara ya kukucha Tuesday, ngakucha leo ngauza mbuzi 2, ngakucha kumtibu hapa. Lakini wiki nyingine sioni mahali nitaenda niende kuuza kitu, sina kitu yoyote ya kwenda kuuza tena nimulete hapa.
Hey guys, I have a TV screen, a very small one, actually a very small one. And a couple of months ago, I loved it. I loved it so much in everything in me. But right now, honestly, I feel like I just want to sell it or dispose it or maybe sell it at a very throwaway price. And it's not like I hate my TV. No, I don't hate it. It is not like I want to upgrade. No, I'm not planning to upgrade because actually it was serving me so well. Guys, let's start from here. I don't know if you're a Kenyan like me and you're just looking around, listening to everything, and you're just wondering, how did I ever end up being a Kenyan? I don't know if you're like me and you're just listening to all the news and you're just wondering, like, how did I ever end up being here? Because, guys, nowadays, there is honestly nothing good in any of our news. Like almost 100% of the news that you're getting is just something negative, something awful. So someone has been abducted, someone has been raped, someone has been killed. So the government is adding this, the government is suing this, the government... Nothing good. Literally, like almost 100% of everything is happening in our country is just so negative. And maybe those people who have lived longer, they can tell us, how was it back then? How was the leaders back then? How are they able to cooperate with normal human beings? How are they able to listen to whatever the common mwananchi want? How was it happening? How did Kibaki lead so well without any quarrel, without anyone coming? How did that happen? We are in an era whereby, right now, I just feel so angry. Like, this is how I behave when I'm so angry. My mind is just so rushing. I even don't know what to say. I don't know where to start. Tell me why our parents and our friends and our family members cannot get their dialysis, yet they are paying their NHIF. Tell me why our parents and our friends and our family members cannot get their monthly medical fill-up, yet they have chronic illnesses, yet they are NHIF or SHIF or whatever they are calling it right now, it's up to date. I know majority of you don't know the pain that comes with having to go back to your pocket to pay for dialysis, and yet your NHIF is up to date. Let me just call it NHIF because I'm not even I don't want to sound rude. But allow me, for the sake of this video, just allow me to call it NHIF and not SHIF or SHA. Just allow me, because currently they are doing nothing. Currently they are doing literally nothing to us. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I think if you see, not yesterday, maybe a day before yesterday, I just saw news of women in Mama Lucy Hospital. Hey, do you know who normally go to Mama Lucy Hospital? Yeah, maybe you don't know. Those people who normally go to Mama Lucy Hospital to give birth, they are normally the common mwananchi. They are normally the mama mbogas. You'll never find any politician or their family or their brothers and sister cousins going to Mama Lucy. No, you will never find them. But when you go there, you will find me because I'm a mama mboga. And you find your friend because they are a common mwananchi. I don't know if you watched that news of how our mothers are giving birth and they are forced to sleep down. Not even down, like literally down on tiles. Okay, I don't know how to comprehend that because I've never slept on tiles, but even stepping it on it without... Tell me how a government institution is allowing, is seeing it happening, and yet they act as if they have just realized right now because it has been brought to limelight by the news. Tell me how. Tell me how women who have given birth, they are sharing bed, like 4, 5 women in a hospital bed. Do you know how the size of a hospital bed? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you know the size of a hospital bed? So it's 1/6 or maybe 1.5/6 because I'm sure haijafika hata 2.2/6 or 2 point something. And that bed, it's sleeping more than 6 people. Because when a child is born, is a human being. So when I'm sleeping in that bed, me together with my child and other 3 women, that makes us 6 of us in that bed. And yet, the government is busy doing something different. I don't want to sound rude, but I just feel so much painful, for lack of a better word. I just feel so much painful for the people who, for us, who literally... We woke up very early in the morning when you're going to vote for the new government. We literally woke up very early, not even waking up early in the morning. Like for some of us, even we didn't sleep. We didn't sleep, waiting for the big day so that we can be there by 4. We are in the line queuing so that we can vote. And then what do we get after that? What we get after that is that you're going to pay housing levy for the houses that you'll never get. Let's just be honest. It's good to be honest, because as long as we are living in our country and we know how things do work out, we obviously know that the housing levy and the houses that are going to be built, they are going to be for the chosen few. And if you happen to have it, maybe you lazima utapitia mlango ya nyuma au haunge nani upate like just a lot of bullshits, for lack of a better word. Because I'm 100% sure, like ever since the housing levy started, nimekatwa from the first month to the later. Hata time walikuwa wanasema sijui wanasimamisha sijui wanafanya nini, nilikatwa all the months and it was submitted. And right now, God forbid, nikiweza kuwa like I can't afford this my house, wherever I'm staying, I'm sure I can even be a street kid. Na hata hiyo government is when you consider to with those the affordable houses, because we know how it normally operates. I'm sorry to say, but I just happen to be a Kenyan who has ever experienced the tribalism, has ever experienced the nepotism, has ever experienced the corruption, has ever. I'm sorry because I have ever experienced all those. Yeah, I have ever experienced that when I'm applying job. I have ever experienced that when I'm seeking any assistance from the government offices. I have ever experienced that, and so I know what I'm saying. It's so painful. Actually, it's more than painful. Seeing someone being turned back home because they can't afford their dialysis. Do you know what happened to people when they miss their dialysis, when they miss their monthly fill up of the chronic illnesses, when they miss their those people who are suffering cancer? Do you know what happens to them? Do you know what happens to them even psychologically when they go to hospital and then they are turned back home and then they are told that, you know what, your NHIF cannot pay for this, cannot cater for this, you have to go back to your pocket and come with 7,000 so that you can get the same services that your NHIF is supposed to cater. Do you know what normally go through the mind of such people? And do you know who those people who are suffering? Those people who are being affected by all that, I'm sorry to say, but they are common mwananchi. There is no politician who is going to seek dialysis and they want to pay through NHIF and then they're being turned back home. No, there's no one. Only the mama bogas like us are suffering from that. And, it's so much painful. And that's why I feel like I just want to sell my TV, because tell me how and why I'm coming from job. I'm so much tired. I just want to listen to something good that gives back my spirit. And then when I just switch on my TV, I just see that, you know what, the housing levy that the government said that you people were protesting, saying that you don't want it, so it's now back. It's not back, madam. The housing levy is back. And it's not a guarantee that you'll ever get that house. Just let that stick in your head. But at least that is already in our head. You don't have to be told that. You already know that even if I just say that I'll be paying $1 million monthly, getting that an affordable house, it's just something next to impossible. If I don't know who and who, if I'm not from a certain tribe, I'm sorry to say, but let's just be honest. That's what we are Kenyans, and that's what normally happens as Kenyans in Kenya. And wow, you just switch on your TV, and then the next thing you hear is that the government has not released the capitation money, and so when your children are going back to school, you're supposed to dig deeper in your pockets because the teachers must be paid, and the government has not released the capitation money. It is not planning to do that. Or rather, the amount that they think they are going to give out is not enough. And so the parents need to dig deeper. So you go to your hospital and then you're being turned back because your NHF cannot work. So you need to go back to your pocket. Your kid, when it's going back to school, you're told that the capitation amount was not released by the government, so you need to dig deeper in your pocket. Wow. It's so shameful, for lack of better word. It's so shameful because When you are being told to keep on digging deeper, dig deeper because of the of the you need to pay sijui NHIF, you need to pay sijui housing levy, you need to pay sijui PAYE, you need to pay taxes, you do everything. When you are being told to pay all those taxes and to dig deeper in your pockets, there is no one who is telling you how you're going to raise money. There is no one who is telling you that your salary is going to be increased. There is literally no one who is telling you that. There is literally no one who is telling you that. Kenyans are suffering, and they have been suffering. Let's just be honest. And everything that is happening is not making anything easier, because their salaries, for those who are employed, their salaries are remaining the same, and expenses are more than double. And it's just so crazy being a Kenyan. The thought of just being a Kenyan is just so crazy, because Kenyans are so hardworking. Like, Kenyans are so hardworking, so much hardworking. Even when you see these young boys going around, sijui wakipiga watu ngeta, sijui wakiua watu na visu, wakisnatch simu. I'm sorry to say, but those people normally do that just to afford a living. Some of them, they are married, but they can't afford even catering for anything. Si ati natetea wezi, honestly. I'm not here to tetea wezi or anything, but I'm just trying to put myself in a position whereby I can't afford anything. Like, I literally can't afford anything. And I have a family. Like, I just have to do something. I honestly need to do something. Wow. It's so funny that I'm even doing this video, but I think the reason why I feel so much painful is the issue of shifts, sijui SHA. It's pissing me off. Honestly, it's pissing me off. Being told that even after paying the NHIF so consistently, so faithfully, that you still have to go back to your pocket so that you can afford life. You can afford life. It's so painful. I don't blame the new system. I even don't know if it's better than the other one. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. What I am just so pissed about is that, why did you have to change from NHIF to a new system that you're not even ready? Why did you not wait, like, when you are ready to do it? Because some people can't just raise money the way the government think they should. But I think the government does not even care. The government does not even care if your kid goes back to school, because it does not pay the full amount of capitation, so you need to dig deeper in your pocket. And the government does not care if you afford that. The government does not care if you afford the dialysis, the chronic, your chemotherapist. The government does not care. The only thing that government care is, are you paying your taxes faithfully? Are you paying your taxes faithfully? Because we need tunafaa kutenga pesa. Tunafaa kutenga pesa za kufanya miradi kadhaa. I feel so bad to be a Kenyan. And I feel so bad whenever I am in the verge of, like, you have a budget, like, you have been paid, and you are being paid, and when you do your budget for the salary that you receive end month, it can't cater for your expenses. And I believe that's, like, for every Kenyan, every common mwananchi. their salaries can't cater for their needs. And when I say their needs, I'm not even saying of school fees. Their shelter, their food. Majority of Kenyans can't afford that. And that's why each and every time when you see, what is it called? There is so many slums in Nairobi, there is so many slums in big towns. It is not like those people have anywhere else better that they can't stay. You can't stay in slum if you have somewhere better. But I think that's so hard for the government to understand that. I think that's so hard for them to understand. That's so hard. And the people, some things are just so funny because when the government is, when the politicians are looking for votes, um, one of those key areas that they target is those slums. That's where they go, say, promise a lot of nonsense, say that they will do this, they will do that, they will do the biggest number of voters, majority of them, especially in towns, comes from slums. Because I'm sorry to say, but some people who have their own businesses, who have their own homesteads, they have their own houses, they have better things to do on that day. But those people who are in slums, who after a short while, they are being chased away, they are being, nyumba zao zinabomolewa, and without any compensation, and they are being told to just vacate and go wherever they feel like they can go. I just have a simple question. I have ever been quite a number of slums here in Nairobi, and let's just be honest. There is no one, literally no one, who can just wake up one morning and choose that from today henceforth, I'm going to stay in slums. Not unless you don't have otherwise. And that's the case with everybody who lives in slums. They don't have any other better place. That's the best they can afford. But anyway, I don't know why I'm even doing this video, but I just felt so painful watching those women in hospital sleeping down. Yet it's a known hospital. It's not like a small Kachum hospital that is there, sijui in Ushago. It's a big hospital in Nairobi. It's a big hospital for crying out loud. And everything that's happening is not like something that have just started right now. No, it's just something that have all those women kwenda or see that day that the media people were in the hospital. It's something that has been happening, but nothing has ever been done. Nothing has ever been done. The government is so busy doing some different projects, so busy wakitenga pesa za kufanya miradi. It's just so busy doing everything else, but not thinking of the people who they voted them. They're just so busy. They're just so busy. And when our kids, or rather when we decided that, you know what, it's time to open up the eyes of the government, it's time to make them see what we are going through, it's time to make them understand how we feel. It's time. When we feel like now it's time for them to know that we voted them because of this and this and this. When we have reached at that point, what do the government now decide? The government decide now it's a time to silence you. So when you go to the street, the next thing you hear is that a couple of number of people are missing. They have been abducted. and a couple of young people were killed because they are now called goons. Our brothers and sisters are now called goons just because they are trying to echo their voices, telling the government that, you know, we voted you because of this and this, and because we voted you with this, kindly just do whatever we voted you for. They are now called goons. Wow. I just hate being a Kenyan. And I'm not gonna lie this. I'm gonna say this so broadly and boldly that I just hate being a Kenyan. I just hated the idea of being a Kenyan right now, and I just hope that our country maybe soon and very soon it's going to be good. But as per now, the thing stands. There is no light at the end of the tunnel, and that's what's killing me. And that's what's killing each and every one of us. It's killing our parents. It's killing them slowly. It's killing us. Just the thought of thinking that you can't afford the life of your child, just the thought of that I can't afford life, I can't afford shelter, food, and just the basics. It's killing us. It's killing us. Honestly, it's killing us. It's so painful. It's so painful that each and every time when I switch my TV, the only thing that I'm going to watch and I'm expecting to watch is what the government did not do and what the people are trying to echo their voices and how many people have been killed because of echoing their voices and how security issue is just not in the best. It's just so hectic. It's just so boring. It's just so wow. Let me just take my water. Hopefully it will calm me down. But honestly, guys, I don't know what we should do, but our country, we are in a very bad place, a worse place. And I just fear of how our future is going to be because, as I said earlier, there is no any light at the end of the tunnel.